Alex? If you're there, tell me if you can hear me. Well, as I'm working. Well, I have no viewers. Well, good morning, everyone, although there's nobody in my chat. So there's nobody to say good morning to. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning in the town of Appleton, Wisconsin. And I'm just going for a walk. I bought this little contraption to carry my phone around my neck, but it doesn't work very well. I just came to realize. That kind of stinks. Well, as I go through my morning, it's about 64 degrees Fahrenheit, so how would that be in Celsius? About 18, 19? Somebody can make a calculation. Let's go this way. I don't know how long I'm going to walk for today because this thing around my neck is kind of a pain. Oh, there's Alex. It's working. So you can hear me, Alex? You're still there? Yeah, you're still there. Okay, good. Well, so you don't have to be here anymore if you don't want to. Unless you want to hear me ramble about nothing. Is it too shaky? Oh, there's 2 people viewing now. Welcome to the second viewer who should be Analia, but I'm not sure. How shaky is it, Alex? Or how shaky is it not? I'm probably pass out watching something. Yeah, but is it shaky or not? That's the question. Because I'm actually holding this thing with my hand. So yeah, I think this purchase wasn't very good for walks. Not too shaky. Well, how about this? That's pretty shaky, right? See, that's just me walking without holding it. So yeah. So good morning, everyone. Again, I just started a walk through Wisconsin, town of Appleton, Wisconsin, somewhere in northeastern Wisconsin. If you're familiar with Wisconsin, you know where it is. If you're not, look it up on a map. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Just walking through my neighborhood. I'm gonna try to hit some good. There's a dog barking at me. That's lovely. Some of the highlights around my house, downtown. All right, Alex, Little Man 920. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching the first couple of minutes of my second stream. So yeah, most of you think of Wisconsin in the United States as, you know, a cold place with snow all the time. It's not. It's actually quite nice. There's a third viewer. Unfortunately, I am new at this and I'm walking, and so I don't know who the second or third viewer are, but welcome, guys or gals. I am walking through downtown. Well, not downtown. I'm close to downtown Wisconsin, Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm gonna take a left here and go towards downtown area. It is Sunday morning, obviously. A lot of people here in Appleton, Wisconsin are either at church or on the way back from church or on the way to church. Bennett Citizen, Nina reporting in. Can't stick around long, but I wanted to drop a host on it. Hey, Bennett, oh, you're in Nina. Hey, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I used to live in Nina on Dory Island on the Nina side. My kids, my two older ones went to St. Mary's Central for a while, but then we moved over to the Appleton School District. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. It's therapeutic, I think. I like talking to myself. I like hearing the sound of my own voice. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I wish I could tell you that I'm gonna do this every so often, but I'm doing this because my kids said I should do Twitch, because it'll be funny to have someone my age do this, so that's why I'm doing it. So Appleton, well, there's a guy from Nina, so you know about Appleton. It's a city of between 60 and 70,000 people in what's called the Fox Valley of Wisconsin, called the Fox Valley because of the Fox River. I don't know much about the area because, as you can tell by the title, by my name, or by my accent, I'm originally from here. Yeah, for those, well, there's one viewer, so you probably know this, but I don't have the typical Wisconsin accent, as I'm originally from Mexico. Oh, look at this, some people having the gardens. Looks like they're growing some tomatoes, some sort of green beans, maybe? Not sure. So right now I'm heading towards the downtown area of Appleton. I know I've been doing it for a while, but I'm walking. So yeah, I'm not moving very fast, but here I come. So Appleton, yeah. So Appleton is the biggest city of the Fox Valley, in the Fox Valley. If you can, I think the Fox Valley starts south in the Nina area, where they have a good bagel shop in downtown Appleton. Oh, that's good to know. I've been living here in the close to downtown area of Appleton for 3 years now, and I have not availed myself of all the nice things in the downtown area, like all the restaurants and all that good stuff. Well, that's not true. There's a good Mexican restaurant called Sangria's. I like that restaurant, but we don't get to go there very often. Only with special occasions, like birthdays, those type of things. That's maybe I'll walk by it. There's a really cool bar I've been told about in downtown Appleton, where they have a lot of arcades, good old-fashioned arcades. So you can drink and you can play arcades. And I grew up playing arcades back in the 80s. So maybe I'll stop by one of these days and play. I was actually pretty good at arcades growing up. I grew up in Mexico City, and a buddy of mine and I, we used to, on Saturdays, hang out and just get on buses, subway line, and look for arcade places and just play. I was pretty good at a couple of games. We figured out that trick to beat Karate Champ, that arcade. You basically after a certain point, you make the same move over and over again, and eventually the game quits. I was pretty good at Time Pilot. I was okay at Pac-Man and Galaga, Centipede. Yeah, Vanguard, that was a game that I liked a lot. Moonlander. But anyway, back to Appleton. So I am getting close, so I'm walking. So you guys can, I don't know if you can see, you see that car that's parked at the top. That's the very top, tippy top of the courthouse in St. Mary's Church in Appleton. Actually, you know what? I am going to walk by St. Mary's Church because it's an older church, but also has a little bit of history that's going to be important for the United States. I'm going to jaywalk a little bit here. Let's see. So right now I'm going to head to St. Mary's Church here in Appleton, and I'll tell you guys the little historical oddity that it has. Okay, I'm going to jaywalk again. Don't tell the cops if they stop me. Actually, I have to say that the APD, Appleton Police Department, is a very good police department. They're fairly good, they're very nice. There's not many bad things that happen here in Appleton. It's a good community. What is this? Oh, my watch is telling me that I'm going for a walk. It's like, yeah, I know that. Thank you, watch. All right, let's respect the light. This over here is, I don't know how well you guys can hear me now with this noise here. This here is Memorial Avenue Street in Appleton, which is basically one of the main thoroughfares of this little town. It's actually a city, not a town. Oh, sorry, Ben, I just realized you're saying something. Let me see. St. Mary, St. Paul's, and the Hearthstone are all really cool historical places in Appleton. And yeah, Appleton really cleaned up in the 70s. They got rid of a whole bunch of controversial policies, such as their sundown laws. Yeah, there's, Appleton is a creature of history, and it has some interesting things. I was reading some time ago about, those sundown laws. Well, I don't know what they call that. People of color, black people, couldn't spend the night here. There was like some famous engineer from out east back in the 1800s who happened to be black, who wanted to open shop here, but because of those laws he couldn't, so he ended up going somewhere else, and he became this rich person. Oh, thanks, Benson. Yeah, well, you're my only viewer, and actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. My two followers are two of my kids, and I was using my number 2 to be the one that tell me if this is working. And I thought you were my daughter, to be honest with you, who was following me. So sorry about that. So anyways, yeah. So Appleton is a creature of, of time, of just our history as a country. So coming up to the right here, it's St. Mary's Church. It's one of the older churches in Appleton. It's a Catholic church. So here's the history tidbit about it. Those of you who are American are familiar with McCarthyism. That was back in the, I think, 50s and 60s, where Senator, I think it's Joseph McCarthy, persecuted a lot of people he believed were communists. Senator McCarthy was from Wisconsin and was from the Appleton area. I think he was actually from Appleton. So, after the McCarthyism and all those hearings, he became depressed, started to drink, and eventually died, I think, of liver cancer or something. Here's the Mary's Church. It's a beautiful Catholic church. I'm not going to go inside because, well, I don't want to disturb people, although they don't have mass yet. But anyway, so Senator McCarthy, when he passed away, his funeral was held in this church. And the famous tidbit that I have is that I believe it was Robert F. Kennedy came to the funeral, and apparently, the way I heard it, he came late, so he had to sit on the top in the choir loft. I think it's kind of cool because when we used to come to church here, we were always late, so he had to sit in the choir church. So yeah, that's a little bit of tidbit. And Senator McCarthy is buried at a Catholic cemetery here in Appleton. One of these days I might walk over and see if I can find his tomb. Although apparently a lot of people are still upset about it, with him, and try to do bad things to his tombstone. Oh, it was Joseph McCarthy. That's what I thought. I didn't grow up. Actually, I did. We immigrated to the United States when I was in high school as a freshman, so I do know some American history, but I didn't have like the whole American history. It wasn't embedded in me as well as the Mexican history because I grew up in Mexico. All right, so now we're getting close to the downtown area. So I'm just going to show you guys the Appleton Police Department headquarters and the Outagamie County Courthouse. Not because they're important, but they're kind of on the way where I'm walking. So right up front, there's another church. That's St. Joseph's, also a Catholic church, which is, it's literally 2 blocks from St. Mary's Church. Yeah, so I heard that a lot of people still try to find his Joseph McCarthy's graveyard or gravestone and try to do stuff to it. So that's why it's not really publicize where it is. So here to the right is the Outagamie County Courthouse. So the front part is a newer edition, maybe 2 years ago. And then on the back, where you have to see the big antenna, at the bottom is where the courthouse is, the actual courthouse, all the courtrooms. And then the top, you have the smaller windows. That's the jail, the Outagamie County Jail. And then over here, that building there, can I zoom in? No, I cannot zoom in. That's the old courthouse. But then eventually, I don't know when, back in the 70s, I think they built the mid-solar building. And then here is the Appleton Police Department headquarters. You know, if you search, you know, the BLM protests in Appleton, you know, they did some protesting here. But Appleton is a nice town. The Fox Valley area is a nice area, great place to raise a family. So yeah, there were protests, but they were peaceful. Nothing really happened. Yeah, just people exercising the First Amendment without any problems. There's a couple of taverns. There's a joke in Wisconsin that, you know, you don't become a town until you have a tavern or something like that. You know, most of you, well, I know that you know this, Ben, but Wisconsin is known for the breweries back in the day. It's the Miller Brewery, and there's a lot of also smaller breweries. There's St. Joseph Catholic Church. It looks like people are having mass right now. And there's the police department here. They actually have a nice memorial here for fallen officers. And then, okay, we'll see what it says. It says, let us speak on okay, there we go. Let us speak on behalf of those who have gone before us, those who won the badge of service of courage and honor. May we speak their names, may we give breath to their stories, may we always remember. Oh, someone by a poet from Wisconsin, Ellen Court. I did not know that. And there's a couple of names of officers here. Officer Alfred Dunn, who passed away November 2nd, 1926. And Officer Mellon John Day, December 24th, 1955. So thankfully, no officers have passed away or died recently. So there's St. Joseph Church. It's a nice church inside. I think I've been to every. I'm a Catholic, full disclosure, and I think I've been to every Catholic church in the Appleton area and probably the Fox Valley area since I've been here in Wisconsin for 20 years. I suppose that makes. Brewer Cheers, soup, brats, and roasted chicken. I did not know about roasted chicken. Brats, oh yeah. Yeah, Wisconsin is definitely known for brats. In fact, here in Appleton, there's something called, well, they didn't have it this year, but in the summer at the, so here in Wisconsin we have, or here in Appleton, we have a minor league team, the Timber Rattlers baseball team. And so we have a very nice stadium. And every summer, they have something called Beers, Brats, and Beethoven, or Beethoven, Beers, and Brats, something like that. Anyway, and it's just bands playing classical music, or some classical music, and just having a lot of beer and brats at the stadium. It's really nice. But yeah, Brats is definitely, in fact, those of you, the baseball team, the Brewers, their mascots are, is it 5 or 6 different types of brats? I would say there's the Italian sausage, there's the German brat, there's the Mexican chorizo, and a couple other things. And yeah, if you guys are ever in, well, I don't know if you've been there, Bennett. Okay, let me look at you. Let me stop for a second. You are Benetisen. Are you a good citizen? Is that Italian? Bene for good and then Thyssen for citizen? I don't know. I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you get a chance, go down to the Miller Brewery in Milwaukee and get a tour. We did that, holy cow, about 18 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. You get a lot of beer. Oh yeah, the Fox Just Fest. I've been to that. Yeah, I've been to that. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, one thing about Wisconsin, well, before I talk about that, so I don't know if you, Appleton has had a lot of, they've done a lot of beautification of the town. It's a beautiful town. The whole Fox Cities is a beautiful town area to begin with. But so they have this new park that they made. So this part here is new. So this is just to go down, and then you can cross over to the, this is here's a hotel, and you can do that. But they've done a lot to make this town a lot better. And like I said, so you can see some kids playing down there with their families. It looks like they're doing some exercise. Good for him. I should do some exercise too. Anyways, but yeah, in Wisconsin, there's a lot of towns that have festivals and do things during the spring, summer, fall area times. Because it's, you know, we get what, 4 or 5 months of winter time here in Wisconsin, and I will say 2 or 3 of those months are very cold, at least for me. So people really, when it becomes nice, people really want to do things outdoors. Here in Appleton, even though with this whole COVID-19 stuff, they do have, they are having the Saturday mornings. They have the farmers market where a lot of people just grow their produce, and they come and sell it. And there's not only produce, there's people that have, their locally grown honey, and people make their own soap. It's kind of cool. They used to have something and of course, every 4th of July, every community has a big fireworks display. You know what? He sells soap. I must have seen him because I saw somebody selling soap. The problem is that Saturday mornings I go for a walk, and I always forget to bring money. But I did see the soap guy. Yeah, Gold Mill soap. Yeah, I saw his stand. And I wanted to buy some, but never bring money. So, okay, so what to do? Well, south. Okay, so right now I'm heading east towards the sunrise. So south, this is the Oneida Bridge, and I can go that way and look at the river, or I go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna head north because I'm gonna hit downtown. We're gonna go through College Avenue, or part of College Avenue in Appleton, which is the main thoroughfare, the downtown area of Appleton. Has an ice fountain, which again, in the wintertime has to be turned off because it gets very cold here in Wisconsin in the wintertime. From that, Bennett says, "Oh, I will, Bennett. You know what? Next week, if they're still having the farmers market, I probably cannot live stream it because there's a lot of people and you're supposed to ask for people's permission. But I'll definitely stop by because being from Mexico, we used to eat a lot of goat cheese and, goat meat and goat milk. Okay, everybody, Bennett. This is Houdini Plaza. Yeah, this is Houdini Plaza in Appleton, Wisconsin. I don't know if you guys can hear all the gulls making noise. So, and Ben, you probably know this better than I do. So Harry Houdini, the famous magician, was born somewhere in Europe, but at some point he made it to Appleton, and he lived here when he was, I think, young, or his childhood, his early teens, or early life, 20s. I have no idea. Oh, here you go, Houdini Plaza. So Appleton has done a lot to celebrate that. This is Houdini Plaza, and this is like the main focus point of Appleton. So if you have protests or if you have civic gatherings, they happen here in Houdini Plaza. So this is College Avenue, which, like I said, is the main thoroughfare. So that's looking west. You can see that Great Bagels breakfast sandwiches. So yeah, so looking west, you can see that overpass. That's where the hotel on the left side is the paper. What is it called? It's the Radisson Hotel, but it's the paper something. And then on the right, and you see that green little dome part of it. That's the PAC, the Performance Arts Center. That's where we have a lot of musicals and theater and what have you. Just see the center, a lot of shops. Oh, something really cool for you guys who have kids, the Kids Museum or the Kids Children's Museum. It's a really cool museum. I used to bring my kids here, but they're older now. My youngest is, how old is she? 11? Yeah, she's 11. Okay, so we're looking for that bagel place somewhere here. Oh yeah. So if you see it, let me know, Bennett. Some bars. Oh yeah, we're talking about Wisconsin and beer and bars. Well, you know, it is what it is. People in Wisconsin like life, enjoy life, and a good beer, a good brat always helps enjoy. Oh, is that the bagel place you were talking about? Here called Bagelicious? Bagelicious, yeah. And they're open for business. Unfortunately, I don't have any money. Didn't bring any cash with me. Oh, okay. I know where to eat breakfast. Maybe on Monday, because I work close to here, so maybe I'll do that. So still heading east on College Avenue. You know, a lot of businesses here. It's still, you know, Appleton downtown, it still retains some of that 1800s feel into it. You know, can't really tell the buildings here, but you look at the top here of the buildings, it still has that, you know, 1800s brick feel to it. Well, that's really good too. By the way, to Bagelicious. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to find a place in Wisconsin. Well, I shouldn't say this. As I said earlier, you know, I think, you know, as an outsider, even though I've been here 20 years, I can say that, you know, people in Wisconsin Wisconsinites are, you know, they have that Midwestern ethic. You know, they love their family, they work hard, you know, they're patriotic. Regardless of what part of the political spectrum they find themselves in. There's a lot of union workers who tend to be Democratic, and a lot of people that also tend to be Republican. But they're also very respectful, and they appreciate, you know, hard day's work, and they appreciate their family and enjoy a beer. Oh, here's Player 2 Arcade Bar. That's the one I have to come sometime. Morning. So yeah, so you know, Wisconsinians do appreciate, you know, their alcohol. I'm one of you guys. I have, you know what? Whenever I perfect a Wisconsin accent, I will truly be a Wisconsinite. Yeah, but thank you. I've been here 20 years. You know, one thing about Wisconsin is that in the United States, people call, how can I say this without giving it away? Well, so when you go to a public place there and you want to drink water, you go to this device and you press the button and water comes out, right? In the United States, throughout the United States, people call those water fountains. That's the way I learned it when I lived in Texas. In Wisconsin, in parts of Wisconsin, they refer to them as bubblers. And that's because, for whatever reason, the design in Wisconsin, the water didn't shoot up like in a fountain, but it bubbled up in a bubbler, and that's why they call them that. Although it's hard to find a bubbler, a honest to goodness bubbler, anywhere. But if you've been to want to see that, or if you know where there's one in the Neenah area, the only one I've seen is the honest to goodness bubbler is at the Waushara County Courthouse in Wautoma. I actually took a picture of it. If I knew how to do this, I will post it. It's an actual bubbler. Oh yeah, I always morning. I always tell people that one of the coolest thing about, especially in the Menasha area, I haven't seen this in Appleton, but I always laugh. I used to work in close to the downtown area, and actually I used to work in downtown Nina area until we moved. But in winter time, it's 10 degrees, sometimes even negative degrees Fahrenheit, and you go to the post office in Nina, you'll see an old person leaves their car, on, doors unlocked, and then they leave the car on so the heat remains on, and then they shuffle to the post office. They stay in line, they mail their stuff, they chat with the person in the post office. They come out, car's still there, not an issue. They spend half an hour there, and nobody even thinks of taking their car. Yeah, that's the great thing about the Fox Valley area. Yeah, I love Nina Menasha. Oh, really? The lighthouse is it that Point Park? I think it's called in Nina. Yeah. So my kids, like I said, they're older now. I used to take him to that park in Nina. You're talking the one by the paper mansions, right? Morning. I think that's the one you're referring to. Yeah, we used to go there and play all the time. In fact, when my oldest were little, that's when they used to have the old rocket park. I mean, the old rocket. And my kids love the old rocket. And they used to play all the time. But yeah, by the time they built the new rocket, I guess my girls were young enough to use it. We went there a couple of times, but by that time we had moved out of Nina and or to the town of Clayton. Kimberly Point Park, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice area too, and there's the Memorial Chapel of Lawrence. Yeah, it's a I think Wisconsin as a whole, but particularly the Fox Valley, is a great place to raise a family. Low crime. You basically have everything here. I mean, you have good museums, great schools. Holy cow! You have a lot of activities. My kids play, or my boys played soccer, and there's plenty of clubs to play soccer in. There's good work for people here. There's good places to work, and you have good access to other parts of the country through the airports. I mean, you can always drive down to Milwaukee or even Chicago to fly. But like later this month, I'm gonna go see my folks live in South Texas, over by close to the Mexican border. It's only a couple of $100 for a flight from Appleton down. Well, a little bit over a couple of $100 down to South Texas. So, there's good. You can go anywhere from here, and it's quiet. It's tranquil. There's no traffic. It's just a good place to raise a family and to live. Now, to be honest, though, once I stop working, I retire. I don't know if I'll stay here because of the cold. That is the one thing that it's just the cold is just incredible. Oop, gotta hurry up and cross the street. All right, so it's still heading east on College Avenue. There's some. So obviously, Bennett, you know this, but I guess I'll say it just to memorialize this. I just went through. We just passed Lawrence University. It's the big university in town. I mean, it's not a very big university, but it's like, I guess, the most important one in the area. We do have, well, I guess that's not true, because we do have UW in Oshkosh. It's a lot warmer here than it used to be the winters. You know, I'll take your word for it. I'm a wimp when it comes to cold. You know, I'm just a wimp. I'm just a wimp. Let's establish that. I'm a wimp, period. Because when I lived in South Texas, when we first came to the United States, I hated the heat. Holy cow. Where my folks live, you know, in Harlingen, Harlingen, down by the Mexican border, and close to the Gulf. You know, it gets to the 90s in March until like October, and it's just heat and sun, and which sounds great, but it's just too hot. And so anyway, so I used to complain about that. Then we moved to Wisconsin, and I complain about the winter. I don't complain to people, I complain to myself, you know, under my breath. As a kid, I'd get yeah, you know what, that's one of the things about you know, living up here in Wisconsin. It's amazing how fast and how good the towns, the county, and the state are at dealing with the amounts of snow we get. You know, it snows overnight, and those good people that are the plowmen, they're out there plowing the streets, salting the streets, removing the snow. It's amazing what a great job they do. Yeah. Weather, well, I'll tell you what though, I'm not complaining today. It's beautiful weather. It's in the 60s right now, this morning, and yeah, it's you know, spring, summer, and fall is beautiful in Wisconsin. Because of my job, I get to drive around northeastern Wisconsin all the time. Oh, and they're beautiful drives. I mean, it's beautiful in the winter too. Just have to go a little bit slower. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go over the College Avenue Bridge, and then I'll try to hit the trail that goes by the Fox River. I forgot what I was talking about before that. That's the problem with me, I'm scatterbrained. But yeah, I think one of my children said, one of my sons said that it will be therapeutic for me just to walk and talk, because I like to talk, but not that I always have something good to say. And I gotta say, Bennett, I appreciate you hanging around with me, giving me something to talk about. This is therapeutic. Oh, someone lost a cat. Well, let's go back and see what it says. Somebody lost their cat. Squeakers. It's a black cat. Well, if we see it, we'll do something about it. So keep an eye out for that. So one of the things, I don't know if you know about this, Bennett, there is a controversy here in Appleton because somebody, I'm gonna cross the street and jaywalk again. Well, maybe not, there's a car coming. So some artist created, well, this piece of art, and it was donated to the city of Appleton, and they placed it, and I'm coming up to it. It's called the face or the head. I think it's hideous, but then again, you know, I can't draw or sculpt or do anything, so don't take my word for it, or he'll walk through it right now. Yeah, the statue with the faces. yeah, I feel like I need to. I feel like you need to start charging me for this. I feel like you're the psychiatrist, psychologist, and I'm on the couch telling you my life story. Yeah, it's the one with the faces. I think it's hideous, but Grant, again, I don't know anything about art. I mean, I know stuff about art, but I can't draw or sculpt or do anything to save my life. So yeah, there it is. It's kind of freaky. I think it's ugly. But it's kind of unique. I'll give him that. And I'm sure that it's supposed to mean something. I don't know if it's on. Yeah, there it is. It's okay, so it's called The Collective, an outsider art assemblage of used propane tanks representing the multifaceted makeup of our individual personalities and the complex composition of our communities. By Paul Bobrowitz Jr., Enameled Steel, 2018. So here I'll memorialize this just for the stream. See, that's my problem with art nowadays, that you have to explain what it represents. It's like, if you have to explain what it is, probably no good art. One thing about Wisconsin real quick, they have some beautiful houses in this area. Yeah, I really can't, I have been talking about that. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Stop paying attention, sorry. Yeah, in Neenah, there's some beautiful houses all over the place, especially we're talking about the Rocket Park place, the Kimberly Clark mansion, all those, and is it on Wisconsin Avenue? Oh, beautiful houses. So this is the Oneida Street Bridge, crossing over the Fox River. It's a popular place for people to walk and jog on. There's that lady jogging over there. I don't know if you guys saw her. Go by. And there's some new developments over the bridge. You know, just looking over the bridge here. There's apartments that are popping up like crazy. Look how beautiful this place is. That's what I'm talking about. You know, look at this. Oh, these people here have a pool down there. Good for them. But look how beautiful this is. Just the river, quiet. It's just a place to be, man. Morning. You know, yeah, Wisconsin it's in middle America. It's very middle America. It's very Midwestern. Is very, as some people will call it derisively, you know, flyover country. But it's good people, and it's just a beautiful place. I mean, look at this. I have to come back here in the middle of winter to show you how it's still beautiful, even though it's cold as heck. And I don't think this part of the river freezes completely over. Parts of it do. So, but yeah, it's just so nice here. Even when it gets hot here, it's not really that hot. It gets humid. And of course I will complain about it, but it's not. I mean, it gets maybe in the 90s, 80% humidity. It's uncomfortable, but it's doable. It's only for a couple of weeks, tops. So yeah, it's nice here. All right. Oops. Yeah, I probably should. So what's the rule? Do I stay on the left or do I stay on the right? I don't even know. People pass on the left, right? Yeah, I'm probably going the wrong way. Oh well. Won't be the first time that I do things wrong. So yeah, so this, I know there's two buildings in the forefront. I've been here for a while, for a few years, but they're building more. Well, it's just a nice area. The one thing I would say, sometimes in the summertime, when the water becomes a bit stagnant, especially in these sides here, it does begin to smell a little bit. Oh, so you can see down there, like right there, stagnant water. It does begin to smell after a while. And then the geese, congregate around the water, and then they poop, and so you're stepping over geese poop, but droppings. That sounds professional, me calling it poop. I apologize. Droppings. Sidewalks, the right side of the hallway. Yeah, see, I probably should be staying on the right side, but if I'm on the right side, I can't show you the side of the, well, you know this area, but yeah, indeed the droppings, yeah. But still, I mean, even dealing with the droppings, I mean, you can almost, well, there's some places you can't walk around them. We used to live on Doty Island, And there's that park in the middle of Dublin on the Menasha side. I used to take my kids all the time there. But then there's another park next to the water on the Menasha side. And we went there once and never again because, yeah, there were geese droppings all over the place. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. It's beginning to bounce quite a bit now. So Bennett, you were born and raised in Neenah? No, that you don't have to answer. I don't want to make you type if you don't want to type. I don't know if you're on your phone or your laptop. So if it's on the phone, I understand you want to type. But yeah, we lived when we first moved to the Fox Valley back in the year 2000. We lived in Appleton for about a year. Over by a Timber Rattlers Park of Northland. Born and raised in Menasha, now Neenah. Okay, you're from it. So, okay, one funny thing, and I always get a kick out of this, and I understand this. There's this big rivalry between Menasha and Neenah. I guess it goes back because back in the day when Neenah Menasha was really the paper industry. I guess all the executives lived on the Neenah side, and all the white collar workers lived in Neenah, and all the blue collar workers lived in Menasha or something like that. So it became a rivalry, and so it was always fun to see all the people that I know from Neenah, in good naturally making fun of Menasha, and then conversely, all the people I know from Menasha, poking at fun at Neenah. Although interestingly, unfortunately, the high schools are in different divisions now. I think Neenah's Division 1 and Menasha's Division 2, right? I think, or 3. I think it's 2. So I don't know if they really compete against each other as much as they once did. My kids, my 2 older ones went to Xavier. So they played soccer there, and so they played Menasha every year, twice. Won some, lost some. Neenah wins hands down. The kids are so much more respectful. I'll be honest with you. I haven't had that much experience with Menasha police. Oddly enough, I've had experience with what used to be Tano Menasha, now was it Fox Valley Crossings. Yeah, they're definitely more serious folks when it comes to giving tickets and stuff like that. With Neenah PD, I haven't had any interaction other than one time I locked my keys in my car when I was at the Walgreens over on Commercial and Winneconne, idiot me. And then one time that we had a small car accident, we got hit. But yeah, I agree, they're respectful. I think being a cop in Neenah, it's probably one of the best places to be a police officer because, like I said, small community, respectful people. There's some crime, but nothing too bad. I'm heading back this way because I'm going to go downstairs. There's a guy going up the stairs, so I'm going to see what's down here. Maybe I can hit the trail down here. Kids are much more respectful. I don't know. I didn't know that the paper already. That's good in the Oh, really? Menasha has a bad reputation in most of the schools. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, all I can tell you is at least the soccer teams from Menasha, I mean, they're good. Or they were when my kids were there.
She did really good.
But they were never disrespectful in any way to us. The parents were nice in the opposing team. I really can't complain about, I don't know which way I'm going now.
But she did not see him. She was going to see him.
don't know which way I'm going now to the. Is this the way to go to? I think so. Well, I'll follow these people here. They seem to know where they're going. I feel bad for the Nina PD. Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah, there was news a few years ago, and obviously the police were. He's making a documentary about the $50 million bullet, how the shooting was an accident allegedly. Well, so yeah, I totally agree. I mean, definitely that officer was in the wrong, and you know he unfortunately shot. Yeah, so well, you know the background. I mean, I was gonna say to explain it to the stream, but honestly, you're the stream, so I don't have to explain the situation. No, I agree. Unfortunately, the officer was in the wrong, and unfortunately, that the gentleman passed away. But obviously, there's no malice behind it. You know, he was responding to a active shooter situation, and he unfortunately made a choice that took the man's life. Yeah, it was unfortunate, and he was. And I feel bad for him, you know, because now I feel bad obviously for the victim and his family, or not the victim, the gentleman that passed away and his family, but also I feel bad for the police officer because, you know, he has to live with that for the rest of his life. You know, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, and, you know, unfortunately something that happens sometimes when, you know, you have a smaller town, a quiet town, and then you have a situation and maybe, you know, the officer made a mistake. Well, not maybe, obviously he made a mistake, but I'm not gonna necessarily blame him for it. I mean, it's an unfortunate mistake. See, that's the problem. Now I'm rambling and I'm probably saying stuff that I probably say something and contradict myself in the next sentence. No, I mean, obviously it was unfortunate, but I mean, I don't think the officer did it maliciously, and so yeah, it was an unfortunate accident. A man's life was lost. Yeah, I've seen. Have you seen the video of it? When, yeah, it was. I'll just say it's a mistake. I don't want to. You know, officers make mistakes sometimes. This time was one time he made a mistake, but it was a tense situation. So, morning. So yeah, I'm not going to blame him for it. I mean, I'm sorry, I'll rephrase that. Obviously it was his fault. And, you know, if the family sued or didn't sue, I mean, I don't know about that. I didn't hear about that. But yeah, it was just an unfortunate situation altogether. You know, and I don't know what happened to the guy who caused everything. Was he shot too? The officer allegedly. Oh, I didn't know he had a bad relationship with the victim. Well, but I don't think he. Morning. I don't think he recognized him though. Did he? I mean, I've seen the video. And it's one of those things that, you know, the officer's in cover. It's undercover. You know, he's covering behind a wall, peeks out. There's nobody there, and goes back under cover of the wall, and then peeks out again. And then this guy comes out, and the officer, yes, he probably should have said, hey, you know, drop it, or hey, freeze, you know, but, you know, I wasn't in that situation. I could never be a police officer. I don't have the temperament for it. Morning, y'all. So yeah, it was unfortunate. I agree. Oh, the hostage was also shot. Okay, yeah, I should know this, but I just remember. Yeah, and I think if I remember the video correctly, when when the officer you know, came out from cover to look again, I think the person who ended up dying was facing away from the officer. So, but yeah, and it's been a couple years since I've seen it. So yeah, you're right. The officer just saw a gun, and also, I mean, and again, hindsight is 2020, right? And I'm playing armchair quarterback here. But he was also thinking of the safety of other officers, and there's a shooter, and here's somebody with a gun here. Yikes! Yeah, like I said, it's a hard job. I mean, and it's hard because he gets judged. Well, and I'm gonna say this, but also with the caveat that unfortunately an innocent person passed away, or was killed by him. But unfortunately, this officer is not going to be judged for that split decision for the rest of his professional life, or the rest of his life. How long ago was that? I said I've seen the video a couple of years ago, but I know they moved the location from, closer to the, what is it? Morning. Was it the Affinity Clinic? No, it's not Affinity. It's Aurora Clinic. I think they're down the road now, farther east. But yeah, it's well, and I don't know if you remember this. Geez, it must have been like 15 years ago when they found that body outside of, was it Pick and Save? No, it wasn't Pick and Save. It was a shop. Dang it, it was a shop over by McDonald's on Commercial and, oh geez, not Winneconne. What's the exit south? Bell Street. Oh geez, 2015. Oh my God, it's been 5 years. Holy cow, how time flies. Yeah, so I mean, so that was that they found that body in someone's in a car's trunk. Yeah, it was like 15 years ago, something like that. No, not just off the highway, farther down, closer to the, closer towards Mallard Park and the Mallard area. Where Zupas is, which by the way it's a good restaurant. I don't know if it's still there or not. Yeah, I know we're talking about the shop. No, that's right off the highway. I'm talking to the McDonald's closer into town. By the way, I've never been in this trail before. It's a nice trail. I mean, I know its existence, but I've never been in here before. I think my walk's gonna go through here more and more and less into town. But the fact that we can point out to only 2 incidents in the past 20 years that happened in Nina, it kind of talks well about the community and again how safe it is. Yeah, I miss Nina. I mean, especially my 2 older ones played in the Nina soccer team, so I met a lot of people in the community, a lot of the dads, and the sidelines. I used to joke and just chat during the games. But both of my oldest son have already graduated high school, so. And then the last couple of years of their soccer career, they moved to the Appleton club, Nina United club. So I'm kind of miss chatting with some of those parents in the sidelines and just joking around, making fun of our kids. Yeah, Shopko is one of those, Wisconsin-based corporations that unfortunately closed down, but their headquarters used to be up in Green Bay, or Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, the pier, that area. I had a client that worked at Shopko, and actually went to see her once at her office in the headquarters. It was kind of cool. Morning. Oh, that must be a house over there. There's a remarkably similar trail you can walk through Rocket Park and then Wisconsin. Plex. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Large wooden bridge. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I should do that when I do this in the mornings. Well, the problem is that maybe on the weekends, I try to go for walks every morning before I get ready to go to work. And I might do this to them. And not that I'm saying you should follow me and get up in the morning with me and do it. But yeah, just to kind of explore the trails. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff in the Fox Valley. I have a YouTube channel where I do time lapses of when I drive all over the place. So I have time lapses when I go to Green Bay, to Shauna, to Watoma. I think I have one for Washara too, for Wapak, I'm sorry. Sheboygan, Fond du Lac. And then I have a couple where I'm, shoveling snow. But I guess what my point I'm trying to make is that there's so much cool stuff in a small area like the Fox Valley that it's gonna sound so quaint, but it could probably take a lifetime just to go through the whole thing. I'm getting to the point where I don't know where to go. Oh, I know where I am now. That's the... So how do I get to that bridge? There's a bridge somewhere here that continues the trail, but there's people here coming on bicycles, so I'll head that way. Let's see. You know what? Silence. What do they say about silence on radio? It's, it kills radio. Oh, this woman who was jogging like really fast is coming back. Holy cow. Probably going really fast. I used to jog back in the day when I was younger, but I get shin splints. So I walk now because, yeah, the shin splints just kill me if I start jogging. I should probably stretch and do something about it. It'll help me lose weight. It's either Portillo's or Fratello's, that restaurant. Oh, yeah, Portillo's. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Portillo's is down this way. If I continue to walk down this, I eventually walk by it. Yeah, on the Fox River. I've never eaten at Portillo's, but I drive by it and walk by it quite a bit. Oh, here we go. Here's the instructions. Cyclists and skaters, please slow down. Stay on trails. Pedestrians leash. Yeah, but it doesn't tell me which side of the trail to. Well, I'm gonna be on the right side, like I'm walking. Like I'm driving. Of course, I'm walking. So I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go under the. I'm gonna make it all the way to Old Oneida, and then instead of going up and cross the Oneida Bridge, I'll just go underneath it, and then we'll hit. I think it's I think it's Portillo's that you're talking about. Morning. Yeah, this is the Fox River Trail, I think they call it. That's why they have those blue paws on the ground. Oh, Portillo's, really? Oh, well, my ex-wife's relatives are from the Milwaukee area, so they know all about Wisconsin and everything. My folks, unfortunately, they're older. They're in their early 80s, so yeah, they don't make it up here anymore. And then my siblings, my oldest brother and my sister, he's the youngest of the kids, they made it up here. Oh, that was 15 years ago. Yeah, they don't come visit me very often because I'm the one that escaped up north. Everybody else stay either in Texas, or my sister and her family lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So they don't come very often. As you get families and as they get older, it's just a pain to come and all that stuff. I drive down to see my folks at least once a year during spring break, and I take whoever is available to take. This year I was about to take my 3 younger ones, but COVID-19 hit, and I decided not to go because I didn't want to expose my folks to possible infection. So, but I'm gonna go see them later this month. I'm gonna fly down and see them for about a week. I already told people at work I'm taking off. But yeah, it was kind of scary. Last week, both my folks got COVID-19, and they're in South Texas, and so last week, so my dad got it first, and then my mom got it. So not this past Friday, but the Friday before. Oh yes, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that trip. Oh, absolutely, especially because I'm not gonna drive. It's a 24-hour drive from my house to their house. But no, so 2 weeks ago, so not this past Friday, but the Friday before, they were supposed to go to the doctor's office and get tested for COVID, but then Hurricane Hannah hit their area in South Texas. So that went out at the door. So my dad recouped and he was fine, but my mom just getting worse, and I would call her and she was always tired and falling asleep. So finally, my oldest brother, who lives in the same town as they do, he went to see her, talked to the doctor, so ended up being taken to the hospital. Yeah, she had low oxygen levels, but thankfully she's better now. She does have an infection, so the doctor said, well, let's keep her in the hospital till the infection goes away. So yeah, Wisconsin Marathon Trails. So yeah, thankfully, they're both better. Thank you. My dad is completely over it. He's already complaining about everything, so we know he's fine. And I talked to my mom yesterday at the hospital, and yeah, she sounds a lot better. She can breathe now and is in good spirits. Just waiting they're giving her antibiotics to get rid of the infection, and then they'll release her. But yeah, needless to say, it was a very stressful week. COVID-19 and a hurricane in the same week. So I guess I'm not gonna complain to them for a couple of weeks at least, because they had it rough. Morning. But let's see. But yeah, so yeah, I'm planning to go, and one of the things I want to do is that my number 3, he goes to school in Hortonville, and he plays soccer. And so Hortonville, and the colors are red, white, and black. And it's Hortonville, so it's a big H, right? So when I went to high school, it was in Harlingen in South Texas, Harlingen High School, and our mascot is the Cardinals, and our colors are also red, white, and black. So I have a Letterman jacket for soccer with a soccer ball that I want to find and give to him so he can use it here in Hortonville. Obviously, a Letterman jacket, which is actually vinyl, but for South Texas, it's maybe a nice early fall jacket for Wisconsin. But it'll be kind of cool because it has the H, it has the colors, and it has a soccer ball on it. So that's one of the things I'm gonna do down there is look for it. Although I think my folks put it on top of the garage. They have a little attic in the garage, detached garage. So I dread it because if I do it in the middle of the day, it's gonna be hot as hell. Because right now, the heat in the upper 90s down there and very humid. But if I do it early in the morning or late at night, there might be some critters up there that I don't want to face. So we'll see what happens. So, well, I'm going to this wasn't the trail I wanted to go through, but I ended up going here. And this is the old Oneida Street here in Appleton. So Oneida Avenue is that way, and then you have the Oneida Trip here coming up to the right. You can see it there. I think you can see it there. No, you can't. There it is. Yeah, there it is. So, but it says old Oneida, so I'm gonna go down here. That's where my office is, in that building right there. We used to be in Nina, right across the street from the public library, but we rented that building. It was an old house. Unfortunately, one of the Bergstrom family members decided to buy the property, our property, well, the property that we rented and the one behind us, and has now converted those two old houses into a parking lot. So we had to move. So we're here in this building. Whoop, for now. Whoopsies. Lost my. There we go. I lost one of my headphones, and we know where we're gonna go next. And again, if there was more than just you watching the stream, I would say, and for all of you in the stream, the Bergstroms are a very wealthy and influential family in the Fox area, but you know probably better than I do how wealthy and influential they are. Actually, fun fact, one of my number 3, when he played soccer when he was younger, he played with so one of the Bergstrom's daughters' sons. So one of the daughters was actually assistant coach 1 year, and so her son played with my son. But then I think eventually there was they changed the age bracket how to determine. So then I think my son was in the age bracket underneath her, so we stopped having contact with them. And she was nice. I mean, she was organized. Can't complain. One of the Bergstroms constantly watering. Culver's just down the street. Yeah, so I heard that. Well, so Neenah, it's definitely a beautiful town too. I mean, it's small, it's peaceful, but it's also just beautiful. So I heard that the Bergstroms have financed many of those bronze statues all over town. You know, there's obviously the children playing at that park by the Kimberly Clark Mansion, the Rocket Park basically. And then, but I heard that they also pay for that big eagle in downtown, in that roundabout you're talking about, just off the highway in Winneconne, and also the sitting. Are they founding fathers that are sitting all over the Wisconsin Avenue in downtown? Yeah, they're very nice. I want to say his name is John Bergstrom, the one that bought our building, or the building that we used to use. You know, he came by one day, like the week before we were supposed to move out of the building, introduced himself. He came in a very nice, expensive car. I don't even know what it was, but it was a very nice, sporty car. You know, but very nice. You know, polite, down to earth. And, you know, and that's so very Wisconsin, right? Politeness, down to earth. You know, yeah, you're wealthy as you're very wealthy, but he doesn't show it off. And that's very Wisconsin, I think. You know, I think, and I don't know him from Adam, as the saying goes, but I think he knows what's important in life, and money is just, I mean, it helps to have it, but, you know, to him it's more important to be polite and treat people right than money. And again, he's not my employer. I have no relation to him. I'm not advertising people, or I'm not advertising for him. I'm not saying to go buy cars from Bergstrom. This looks, my folks like this view. I've showed them this before. But yeah, nice people. Yeah, and you know what? One of these days, when it gets cold, I'm gonna do a walk through downtown Neenah, because I think it's funny how people, you know, when it gets cold, they put hats on the statues and scarves and stuff like that. And you know what? It speaks a lot about Neenah, again, that nobody steals those things. You know, there'll be a statue with a hat throughout the entire winter time. Nobody even thinks of taking that away. It's a nice look of Appleton. Oh, sorry. So there's, you can tell there's the Oneida Bridge in the foreground, and hopefully in the background you can see the Memorial Drive Bridge. If you get a chance to look at my YouTube page, there's a, oh no! Oh, there was a wasp that for a second was caught in a spider web, but it got free. Yeah, if you get a chance to look at one of my videos on YouTube, and you don't have to, I put those just for the fun of it. I have earlier this year I filmed a sunrise on a time lapse. Not a very good video, kind of boring, but you know, I do it just to introduce Wisconsin to people that know me. Okay, I think to the left here is one of those two restaurants you were talking about, Portillo's or Fratello's. So Fratello's in Italian means brother, so there's a lot of restaurants called Fratello's. When I lived in Dallas, there's a very good restaurant called I Fratelli, the brothers. Awesome Italian food. Well, I'll be honest, I like food, so it doesn't take much for me to say that something is awesome food, as long as I like it. So. No, I've never been to the Wisconsin subreddit. Maybe I should go there. They talk a lot about Wisconsin. So I was listening to Reddit, so I have to get there then. I bet they would be interested in your YouTube or stream. Oh, well, maybe I'll do that, yeah. So I'll be honest, full disclosure, my YouTube channel, I started a YouTube channel called Un Mexicano in Wisconsin for the fun of it, doing time lapses. But because of the work that I do, I started doing videos about what I do, and I put them there too because I'm just too lazy to start a new YouTube account. So, I mean, I could do that, but then people are gonna say, oh, he's just doing that to get business. And I'm not, or that's not what I would do it. I'm just not, I just don't want to start another YouTube channel and then start redirecting things. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely go on the subreddit and put stuff there. So I'll be honest with you. I always videotape or record my kids' soccer games. And it got to the point that our video camera was just too old. So I bought a GoPro camera. And then I decided to start videotaping or recording time lapses where I go all over the place. And then my computer got so, time lapses, I had so many of them that my computer got, I have no laptop, I ran out of memory or storage, whatever. But I didn't want to delete them, so I started my YouTube channel just to get rid of my videos, and I started my work-related videos, so I started putting them in there too. So, but yeah, I'll definitely check out the subreddit and put some of my time lapses, and then people can just ignore my work-related videos. I don't mind getting political as long as people are nice about it. I'm always down for a discussion that's political or religious or what have you, because just for the fun of it. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years, holy cow, it's like, if you don't agree with me, then you're the devil incarnate. It's like, man, come on. Let's just have it for the fun of it. I had friends, Facebook friends from college, that granted I graduated college back in the 90s, that they just unfriended me because I wouldn't vote for their candidate. And I'm like, but I'm otherwise a nice person, we disagree politically. But, yeah, it's kind of funny because my children, my two older ones, they're in college, and, you young people are very passionate about what they do, and as they should. So they're very politically passionate and what have you. So I think it's funny because obviously my kids and I are in the same political wavelength, but I just like to argue with them and take the opposite side just for the fun of it. And it's fun, it's, and they know why I'm doing it, just to be a contrarian, but they enjoy it too, and it's fun. And I miss that sometimes. Oh yeah, well I'll do that. Yeah, I'll definitely go to a subreddit, and I think I've never thought of that. I'll do it, and I'll put a disclaimer. You can ignore my work-related videos, or they can watch them. I don't care. That's fine too. But yeah, it's kind of sad how, so so earlier I mentioned that that I'm Catholic, go to Catholic church. I live in South Texas, where there's a lot of Southern Baptists down there, and they're regular people like Catholics and Lutherans and what have you. But it was amazing talking to a couple of people when I work in HR at a hospital down there, that the misconceptions they had about Catholicism and stuff like that. So we would talk, and it got contentious at times, but we were all respectful of each other, and we will hang out after the fact and work together and stuff, and it was fine. But it was good because they were honest, at times intense conversations, and we all knew that we were not gonna convince the other to think otherwise. But they were friendly and respectful, and at the end of the day, we understood that what, that's the way you believe, and that's the way it's gonna be, and that's it. And we moved along. It's hard to have those conversations with politics nowadays because everyone is just so, I don't know. Everybody's so tribal and so invested on their side winning that it's, I don't know. The way I see it is that, if you have a different economic view of economics than I do, if you're pro taxes or pro tax cuts, and I'm on the opposite end of that, your views in economics are not sinful, they're just different, so you're good. You're free to be wrong, that's fine. It's a beautiful country, and that's it. Just respect each other's views. Everybody has a right. The way I tell people, it's like, you have a right to be wrong. But you know what, but they're wrong, but I don't know. Politics used to be a lot of fun to argue with people about. Now it's just, if you disagree with me, you're this or you're that. So it's like, although I have to say, at work there's a young man, or I shouldn't call him a young man. He's in his late 20s, and I'm not quite old enough to be his dad, and we have diametrical. We're on opposite sides of that political spectrum by a lot, but we have good conversations because we're both respectful of each other, and we both realize that just because we disagree doesn't make us evil, So I like talking to him because he challenges me and I challenge him, and those are good talks. And you know what? I apologize. I've been talking a lot and I'm not looking down at your comments. So let me look down for a second. Let's see, go down. Yeah, it's starting to get so divisive. Oh, divisive. People need to. Morning, y'all. People, where it says it's blank, people need to. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop for a second because I cannot. All right. People need to go down and write some poetry to help organize. Yeah, you know what? Yep, that's something I've been thinking of doing myself versus I want to buy. I realize. I hear you. That's why you're going to put it in your family more. But I don't know. All right. No. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for your comments. You know what? One of my, I have not been blessed with a gift of poetry or understanding poetry. I have a degree in Spanish literature, so I've read a lot of poetry, Spanish poetry, and English poetry as well, and what have you. And I just can't. I don't have that gift to write poetry. I admire people that have it and that can write poetry. And even reading poetry, it was very hard to me when I read Spanish or English poems. It was hard for me to get. It's like I know what they're trying to say, but I couldn't get it. And then it was always nice when the professor kind of explains it and dissects it and tells you what this refers to. And it's like, oh, that's beautiful. But it's too much work. Yeah, just too hard for me to understand. But I do appreciate people that have the gift. Uh-oh, that's Flight for Life. I don't know if you can see it. Well, you can probably hear it. So I mean, someone's going to the hospital. Hope they're well. Yeah, I definitely appreciate people that have the gift and that share that gift. I unfortunately don't have it. There goes the helicopter. Hopefully whoever's there as well, going to Affinity. But yeah, I admire people and I appreciate people that have the gift. I just don't have it. I've tried it. Back when I was dating my now ex-wife, I tried to write her poems. I realized, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna drive her away, which eventually I did, unfortunately. But yeah, so no. But yeah, I agree on the, I agree to disagree. I'm lucky and blessed in that my siblings, my parents, my ex-wife, her family, and my kids were all on the same political spectrum vibe. So it's not, so when we have political disagreements, it's in a matter of degree and not of opinion. So that's good. So so family reunions are good that way. Except when I'm with my parents and my siblings, and I just want to be a contrarian and I start disagreeing just to disagree. But they know I do that just to do that. So, oh man, I am getting kind of tired now. Morning, y'all. Oh, sorry. I am kind of ugly. I get that. No, that's fine. Let's see. My dad and uncle. Okay, Marshfield. Okay. Japanese poet. It's very simple, thankfully. You know what? That's what drives me crazy about haikus. It's simple, but it's packed with so much meaning that it drives me crazy. Because as you probably found out in this past hour and a half that we've been talking, it takes me a long time to say the simplest things. And that's what drives me crazy about haikus. That you read them, the first time you read them, it's simple, it's kind of cute, whatever. And then you think about it, you're like, oh. So you read it again, and it's like an onion. And it's like, so yeah, it drives me crazy that people can pack that much meaning into something so simple. I mean, it doesn't drive me crazy. I'm jealous of people that can do that. I guess about haiku, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? That's one of my problems, that it's hard for me to organize my thoughts. During my schooling and now at work, when I have to write something down, I never, partially because I'm kind of lazy, but I never developed that gift of organizing my thoughts with an outline and figure out where I want it to go. So I have a written style that I call, and I apologize ahead of time for saying it this way, I call it diarrhea of the mind. I literally just sit down and write and write and write everything that I'm thinking of. And then I print it out. Yes, I'm jaywalking once again. Oh, did you see that truck that went by? It's such a Wisconsin truck. It's milk hauling. Brought a smile to my face. But yeah, so I just write, and then I print it out, and then I read it, and then that's when I figure out where I'm going. It's very time consuming. It's not very exam friendly. But as you can probably tell, I wasn't the guy who was getting the best grades at school. Yeah, that truck, yeah, milk transport. Yeah, it's amazing how many dairy, people, Wisconsin, the dairy state, and I know that when my ex-wife and I live in Texas, she still had her Wisconsin driver's license, and people will make comments of how many numbers her driver's license had, and she would joke, "Oh yeah, in Wisconsin we count the cows too." But holy cow, around this area, Calumet County, Shawano County, Waushara, Waupaca, and even Outagamie County and Winnebago, amazing how many dairy farms there are in this area. Holy cow. How long have I, okay, hold on. How long have I walked according to this? Well, 10,000 steps doesn't tell me how long I've walked. Come on. Ooh, 4.8 miles. Maybe I'll hit 5 miles by the time I get back to my place. Well, that's not true. That's the entire day. So I did do a little walking at home, get out of bed, walking downstairs, putting the coffee machine on, and then taking the coffee cup and walking to the table, getting out from the table, getting more coffee, going to the bathroom. So, we'll share a little bit there. Okay, so right now I'm walking on, is this Prospect? I think this is Prospect, over by Pierce Park. Which a lot of, or not a lot of, but sometimes when they have festivals in Appleton, they will have them at Pierce Park. So it's kind of fun to go and get some good food or just see what's going on here in Pierce Park. Oh, I need to check what time it was. It is, oh my gosh, 10:30? No, 9:30, 12, 11, yeah, 9:30, okay. So I'll probably have to go home, get a shower, and figure out where I'm gonna go to Mass. I'll probably go this evening at St. Pius. That way I don't have, because I have to go up to Green Bay today and see someone. The joys of life. So I'm getting close to my house again, so we'll probably be stopping this stream in about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll just walk home. Why is the sidewalk closed? What the heck are they doing? Oh jeez. Pierce Park. Now that's one thing. Oh, one thing about Wisconsin that I haven't talked about, and you'll appreciate this, is that, so having lived in South Texas for so long, down there it's close to the where I lived in Harlingen. It's close to the sea, but it's very arid, very hot. So if you don't have a green yard, it's a battle. You have to water every day. It doesn't rain as often as you would think. Morning. But it was very brown year round. And then went to college in Dallas, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is very green. It's so nice. Then moved to Wisconsin. It's like, holy cow, it is very green all the time here. Well, not all the time. Obviously, winter time is very white, but yeah, it's just the vegetation and the flowers here. When they do come out, it's pretty good. Oh, there's some guy being very unhappy playing tennis. Okay. A successful trip, thanks. Yeah, it'll be successful as long as I don't get pulled over for speeding. And my car, I have a minivan, 2010 Honda Odyssey. It has about 350,000 miles and still going. It has a so it has those automatic side doors. One of them I don't open anymore because if you open it won't close. It will take like half an hour to close it, and it's leaking the power steering. It leaks power steering. Went to have it checked out, and basically it costs more to replace it, to fix it, than what the poor thing is worth. So, can you see that guy on his bicycle? He has like a really tall bicycle. Holy cow. He's like 6 feet off the ground on that bicycle. I don't know if you can see him or not. So I'm gonna have to replace that minivan pretty soon. Well, I'm hoping it lasts at least 2 more years, but we will see. See that guy? See, I don't know if you can see him Holy cow, that's a tall bicycle. What in the heck is he doing? I don't know if you can see him or not. Yeah, I'll stop, see if we can get a better view because he's about to come. So he's coming to the right of the screen. There he is. You can appreciate how tall he's off the ground. So you look at the cars compared to him. That's a cool bicycle. Years ago, I think when I was either in college or in high school, a friend of mine had a unicycle, and I learned how to ride a unicycle. Those things are fun. Vitamin sharing, and you obviously don't have to. What model? Oh yeah, so it's a Honda 2000 Odyssey. Yeah, nice bike. Oh, I'm down to 15% battery power. Holy cow. Oh, I appreciate the help, the offer. Yeah, I have a friend of, so one of the dads, okay, so my kids, 1 and 2, when they play soccer, they were a pair of siblings that play soccer with my kids in their age group. Oops, sorry about that. And their dad is a mechanic, and he also offered that, but I don't know, I'll see. I mean, what I do is that I just replenish the power steering fluid every so often. I mean, that poor car is on its last. Well, I shouldn't say that because everything else seems to be working fine with it. You know, everything is fine with it. I mean, I do regular oil changes, and other than that, it's fine. Well, so the oil does spill over to one of the belts and it makes a noise every once in a while. So I'll probably have to replace that belt pretty soon too. But I mean, it's an old car, 10 years old, over 350,000 miles or close to it. There's some 10-year-old boy who's constant. Oh, really? That's funny. Oh, really? That's interesting. So it's the pump itself. Yeah. So that's probably why it costs so much. Not so much, but it costs a little bit more than the poor thing is worth to replace it. So yeah. So I think I'm just going to keep on putting power steering on it, and then to hope it lasts. If I can get one good year out of it yet till next summer, I'll be very happy. I'm already saving up my money. What is that? There is. Oh, haha! It's a piece of lint on my screen. You can get the pump from a lot of supply stores per leaf. Oh, really? You know what? I might do that then. That's a good idea. Yeah, hey, thanks for the info. Thanks for the tip, Bennett. I will look it up on Amazon. The first thing I'll do is I'll probably look at the YouTube videos first. Something gets cut off. Oh, that's cool. Well, you know what? I'm a bit jealous because I can't use speak or speech to type because of my accent. So darn Samsung sometimes types something I don't want to say. So yeah, I don't use that anymore. Oh, let's go. Which way am I? Oh, I'm kind of lost now. Oh yeah, I know where I am. I'm not a professional though. Oh yeah, don't worry. It's not thank you. I appreciate the tip. Yeah, no. No, I do appreciate the tip. Yeah, I'm not a professional. Well, people will argue that I'm not a professional. Just be nice at anything. So no, I appreciate the tip. You know, it's one of those things that maybe I will try to fix it on my own. I mean, I'll give it the old college try. Which, by the way, I always thought the old college try was just ordering beer and pizza. That's not what they mean. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, those are big. What was that one? Kenworth and Peterbilt. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. You know, there's a lot of people around here that do that. They are very handy with with mechanical stuff because they had relatives, older relatives that did that you know, they fixed their own Arians Arian snow blowers, or you know, their lawnmowers, their car. So yeah, that's really cool. Unfortunately, my dad didn't have that ability, and I didn't have any uncles close by that would teach us that. My dad was a white collar worker, so he was like, nope, I'll just pay someone to do it, which is fine. I mean, but so when I learned to do work around the house, you know, like fixing piping or electrical stuff, there was a lot of trial and error. Thankfully, I never burned a house down, nor did I flood a house, so that was good. But yeah, when it comes to mechanical things, well, unfortunately, since it's a 2000, it has enough computer stuff parts, or not digital, but you know, that it's hard to figure out. You know, I'll tell you a story right here before I stop the stream because I'm running out of battery. Growing up in Mexico City, we had a Volkswagen Bug. The last one we had was a 76. And my brother was already born, so it was probably a 1976 Volkswagen Bug. It was green. And as you probably know, the Volkswagen Bugs have their the motor in the back. So we're driving streets of Mexico City, and we're at a stoplight, and this construction worker goes up to my mom, you know, and asks her to roll down the window, and very polite he says, ma'am, your car's on fire. So we all turn around, and sure enough, there was flames coming out from behind the Volkswagen Bug, you know, the engine. Mom starts screaming, and so some of the construction workers kind of gather around it, and one of these guys gets a liter Coca-Cola, a glass bottle, shakes it, and puts out the fire with that. And my mom is like, oh, and she had turned off the car. So she's like, what do I do? The guy says, well, turn it back on, see if it works. And he did. So she's, what do I do? He's like, well, go home. So she did, and told my dad, and I think he took it in, but basically there was no damage to the engine. And those were good cars back then. All mechanical, nothing, you know, electronic. Well, Bennett, I am getting here to the corner of Spencer and Mason in Appleton. I'm running out of batteries. I want to thank you for walking with me through the streets of Appleton. Yeah, if you ever see me online again doing a walk, you're welcome to it. My kids also want me to play games. You don't have to watch those because I'm probably playing games and it'll probably be boring. But yeah, I'll try to go on walks and stream at least once a week. So I appreciate you hanging around with me, and I hope you have a great day. Hey, I appreciate the follow. Have a great day, man. I don't know how to stop this now. That's the problem. Oh, end. All right, so I'm gonna end now. Take care, man.